hindi naman po pwedeng baguhin nila. Hindi nila pwedeng baguhin ang numero. Sapagkat narin ang numero, sinasabi ng saligang batas, 2/3 vote of all the members of Congress about the Senate. Kaya lumalabas na 16 ang boto. At yan ay hindi bahagi ng pre-trial. Hindi pwedeng pag-usapan yan. Hindi pwedeng magkaroon ng agreement. Hindi pwedeng sabihin, ganito na lamang ang atin. Hindi po pwede yun. Kasi batas yan saligang batas ang nagsabi na ganito ang numero. Kaya yan ay hindi pwedeng maging bahagi ng diskusyon o pagtatalo na magkakaroon lamang sila ng compromise agreement na ganito magiging basihan.
Ito talagang mag-ama na to, pinagloloko sa bayan ng Pilipino. Ano, solid-solid tayo. Yan ang problema. Napakarami ho kasi ng mga kababayan nating OFW na nag-a-attend sa JIL at ngayon nag-aalis na. Diba? Nasaktan ho sila mga kababayan. Nasaktan ho sila doon sa ginawa nito si Joel Villanueva. Kaya naman, merong hong campaign ng JIL ngayong mga panahon na to. JIL, solid tayo. Palakpakan, pambira talaga to. Ang dami yung pakulo. Pambira yan. Anong para sa inyo kapit bisig? Brother Eddie, at dito kay Judas Joel Villanueva. Para sa inyo kapit bisig? Kapit bisig para hindi makulong? Pambira talaga. So like at subscribe. Kasi na ho tayo dyan. Sa mga gusto sumama sa ating community, join button nandiyan lang sa baba. At interview ho nitong si Attorney Romy Macalintal ang ating pag-uusapan dito sa video na to. Kaunay pa rin ho sa impeachment nitong si BP Sara. Tapos segue ho tayo. Naku, itong si Baculaw. Preston ho nitong sila Baculaw ha. Kahapon ito, hindi ho natin napasadahan. Medyo na busy ho tayo ng konti. Ay, nakarerekta na ho kagad tayo. Dito kay isang like at isang subscribe ha. Masaya na ho tayo dyan ha. Sa mga gusto sumama sa ating community, join button nandiyan lang ho sa baba. Dito na ho muna tayo dito sa solid na pambira talaga itong tama na to. Loko-loko. O, ito, panoorin natin.
To symbolize our solidarity.
Solidarity.
Hindi natin.
Daming tao. Ilang kaya aalis dyan bukas. Yan siguro sa Pilipinas yan. Pagdating sa Pilipinas, hindi naman ganun karaming problema nila yung OFW eh. Nasasaktan ho talaga sila sa mga OFW pagka umaalis. Siyempre, kayo naman Ayan, target talaga ng mga OFW eh.
Kaya ang iisa man sa atin ay mapahamak. Solid tayo!
Solid tayo. Solid, kapit busy kayo. Baka makulong si Joel. Pambihira, nag-trader na lahat-lahat. Ngayon, yung kaso niya sa ombudsman, tinatrabaho na. Solid tayo.
Nagkakaisa.
Magkaisa lang.
Para sa Diyos at para sa isa't isa.
Magkaisa kayo para kay Joel. Para sa nagkakaisa kayo, lalo na itong si Eddie Villanueva, nagkakaisa lang sila mag-ama para kay Joel at para sa mga OFW. Palakpakan. Igalit na ng mga dito. Igalit.
Ang JIL people, kapag nagkaisa, walang mahirap.
Anong walang mahirap? Si Raulo, anong walang mahirap? Ang daming mahirap. Sa iyo siguro walang mahirap dahil nag-trader ka. Doon sa mga kasama mo. Kasabi naman ng ama niya sintusin to. Huwag mong pakinggan. Huwag mong pakinggan yung mga kaibigan mo. Pakinggan mo yung konsensya mo, pambira. Nakasimango si Brother Eddie
Hindi kakayanin. At higit sa lahat.
Walang hindi kakayanin. Siyempre, hindi ka naman susunod sa usapan. Kasi nga magta-trader ka. Kaya kayang-kaya yan, di ba? Isa bagay, linigtas ka naman ni Christine Boy yung Remulla.
Walang imposible.
Ano walang imposible? Wala talagang imposible. Partida ng trader ka na pero makukulong ka pa.
At ang lahat ng jail churches sa Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao at sa 77 countries of the world ay mag-apoy sa...
Teka. Ano magkapoy? Loko-loko ka. Ito, mga JIL Church, masyado silang natamaan Masyado silang nagdamdam kung paano tinanggap ng sambayan ng Pilipino yung kabalbala ni Joel Villanueva. Ito yung mga churches. Inistorbo nyo pa yung mga JIL churches para lang dito sa video-video yung solid tayo. So sa bagay, Joel Villanueva nga naman pala. Ito, panoorin natin. Solid tayo. Solid tayo. Solid. Solid lang na solid. Anak na to ka solid. Kapag tinakot ang kaso, tiklop. Walang solid na ganun. Mga ating. Ako. Ano to? Show of force ito, show of force. Pinapakita nila kung gaano karami yung membro ng JIL. Pambihira. Alam nyo ba, isa kabalbali. Kasi ginagawa nyo na yan, political maneuvering yan. Hindi pagsuporta yan sa simbahan. Pagsuporta yan kay Joel Villanueva. Pagsuporta yan sa pagtatraidor niya sa sambayan ng Pilipino. Kasi kung ikaw, miyembro ng JIL at naiintindihan mo kung anong pinaglalaban nitong si Cayetano, Padilla, Pia Cayetano, sino pa? Itong si Senator Dante Marcoleta, maninindigan kayo. Ngayon kung hindi nyo alam at inuutulan kayo ni Joel Villanueva, ayan kalagayan nyo ngayon. Patayo-tayo kayo at pa-solid-solid. Solid siguro sa pagtatraidor, doon sa hayon ako. Pero solid sa pagtulong, solid sa sambayan ng Pilipino. Anyway, tapusin na natin to. Kayo pawang mga nagpagamit lamang kay Joel Villanueva. Sinasabi ko sa inyo mga kababayan, kung marami nang umalis dyan sa JIL, maasa ho tayo sa mga susunod na panahon dahil hindi matatapos ito. Kung sakali bang lumubog ngayong mga panahon na to, isa lang ang sisisihin dito. Sino? Siyempre, Marcos administration. Sino pa ang susunod na sisisihin kung bakit hindi natuloy yung mga pagdinig sa Blue Ribbon Committee? Sino pa nga ba? Joel Villanueva, di ba? Game, dito tayo. Kay Atty. Romy, lagay ko lang dito magkamang nagkakapit-busy ngayong mga panahon na to dahil yung backlash galing sa ating mga kababayan dyan sa ginawa nitong si Traidor Joel Villanueva. Judas Joel Villanueva. Ganda na pangalan ni Joel. Pagka binabanggit pangalan niya sa social media, may kasunod yung Judas Ito si Judas Joel Villanueva. Judas din naman yan si Brother Eddie. Patraidor. Nakakatawa. Paano pagka dumating yung panahon na pagka, di ba, alam naman natin kung anong gagawin sa mga Kristiyano, di ba? Paano pagka tinutukan na ng kung ano-ano ito, ganito gagawin mo, ganito gagawin mo. Di ba, tatakwil mo ba o ganito? Siyempre, dahil nga traidor yan si Joel Villanueva, mapapaisip ka na kung ano magiging desisyon niya. Dito tayo kay Romy Macalitan. Game.
Ay, magandang umaga sa inyong Jerry and Tina, sa inyong mga tagapanood, tagapakinig.
Kanina, nung makita ka na namin sa Zoom, nabanggit namin ang pangalan nyo, Atty. Mac, tungkol sa palaka. Kayo ba'y nakakain na ng palaka?
Ay, yes, oo. Tayo yung kumakain din dyan. Lalo na ng kabataan natin, no? Nung tayo uminom pa ng beer.
Iba pulutan pala.
Pulutan pala. Pero anong luto ho ng palaka ang paborito nyo, Atty. Mac?
Ito ng masarap na prito.
Prito.
Pares kami, Ka Jerry. Di ba?
Pero natikman nyo na yung sinampalukang palaka.
Nako, parang
Ay, hindi.
masarap.
Ayoko na may sabaw.
Parang masarap yung sinampalukang palaka. Di pa na, siyempre may luya yun. Batawag ni Romy, parang manok lang yun. Kaso, ang tindi niyan, dahil nga maliliit yung paa niyan, diba? Tapos yung laman niya, yung mga muscle niya, di ba, solid. Sarap niyan, sinampalukang palaka. Parang tinulang palaka, di ba?
Bakit ayaw nyo, Atty. Mac?
Ayoko, parang hindi ko mahigop. Yung palaka.
Yung adobo naman, Atty. Mac.
Adobo.
Adobo.
Ay, adobo yan. Pwede.
Yan, pwede.
Parang manok lang din kasi.
Parang naiisip ninyo lumalangoy yung palaka kapag may sabaw. Pero ang sarap.
Para lang manok yan. Sabi, hindi
Ayun
kumain
nga.
naman tayo ng manok. Hindi kumain na tayo ng manok.
Okay, dito tayo sa impeachment. Ba't nyo nakikitang makakaabala, makakaapekto itong pagtatalo tungkol sa numero ng kung para makonvict ang isang akusado, Atty. Mac?
Para sa akin lang naman, with due respect sa prosecution at saka defense, hindi naman po pwedeng baguhin nila. Hindi nila pwedeng baguhin ang numero. Sapagkat narito ang numero, sinasabi ng saligang batas, 2/3 vote of all the members of Congress about the Senate. Kaya lumalabas na 16 ang boto. At yan ay hindi bahagi ng pre-trial. Hindi pwedeng pag-usapan yan. Hindi pwedeng magkaroon ng agreement. Hindi pwedeng sabihin, ganito na lamang ang atin. Hindi po pwede yun. Kasi
Hindi
batas
pwede.
yan Saligang batas ang nagsabi na ganito ang numero. Kaya yan ay hindi pwede maging bahagi ng diskusyon o pagtatalo na magkakaroon lamang sila ng compromise agreement na ganito magiging basihan. Siyempre,
Partida, yan nagsasalita na yan, abogado pa ni Leni Robredo. Pambihira, abogado pa ni Leni Robredo. Di ba? Tapos kanyang binibida na hindi pwede baguhin yung 2/3. 16 talaga.
the defense, they will always insist na yan ay 16. Sasabihin naman ng ay hindi, kailangan kasi binabawas na. Kaya hindi po pwedeng magkasundo ang dalawang yan kung yan ay pagtatalunan. No? Kaya yan ay maging abala lamang sa kanila at mag-aaksaya lamang sila ng panahon.
Opo. Pero Atty. Mac, dahil ito'y napag-uusapan na, hindi ho ba pwede o kaya hindi ho ba ginagawa ng Supreme Court na parang motu proprio
Yan,
ay maglabas
oo.
ng clarification tungkol dyan?
Ay, hindi gagawa ng ganun ang Supreme Court kasi hindi naman sila nagbibigay ng mga advisory opinion Hindi sila ganun ang ulit. Dapat magkaroon ng actual case or controversy. Pero para sa akin, Jerry and Tina, merong nakabimbing na petisyon si Senator Peter Cayetano, di ba? Na noong matanggal siya bilang Senate President, siya ay naghain ng petisyon sa Korte Suprema. Kinwestiyon niya yan.
Oo nga pala.
Sa kanya. Oo. Ngayon, bahagi ng pagkaka-question niya dyan ay yung issue tungkol dyan sa 2/3 vote na yan. Yan sa mga ni-raise niya. Sinabi niya, paano mga detained prisoners na yan? Pwede ba silang bumoto? Yung mga missing, pwede ba silang bumoto? Paano na yung threshold na papago-bago? Binabago ng bagong majority. Sinabi nila 2/3 vote of those present. Pero maraming mga provision ng saligang batas na nagsasabi ng 2/3 vote of all the members. Kaya ang sabi ni Senator Peter Cayetano sa Korte Suprema, dapat ito ay i-resolve rin ninyo. Ngayon, dahil ito ay kasama o bahagi ng petisyon ni Senator Peter Cayetano, palagay ko mas makakabuti kung ang ating Korte Suprema ay bibigyan ito ng pansin at gagawa na sila ng kanilang ruling sa bagay na ito. Yan naman ay depende sa Korte Suprema. Kasi baka sabihin nila ng court na ay academic na kasi yan dahil sa nanalo na si
Natapos na
Senator.
Oo nga, no? So pwede
Ngayon dahil dito kay Judas Joel Villanueva, kasalanan niya yun
sigurong kahit mutin academic na doon sa issue ng Senate President, pwede pa rin talakayin na rin ng Supreme Court yan sa paglalabas sila ng decision para matapos na, Atty. Mac?
Yung threshold issue na yun.
Yung threshold.
Yung
2/3.
Palagay ko. 2/3 vote, ano ba talaga yun? Kasi nabasa ko kanina sa dyaryo na itong mga taga-prosecution pupunta pa raw sila sa Korte Suprema. Kapag nagpunta, baka hindi rin sila pansinin kasi wala pang actual case and controversy. Siguro mas pupunta pa sila, mag-interview na lamang sila sa kaso ni Senator Cayetano at hingin sa Korte Suprema na kung pwede ay ma-resolve na ang issue na yun.
Okay, pwedeng ganon doon sa
Pero wala naman na magbabawal sa kanila na magkaroon ng proper intervention. Sapagkat yun ay panahon na ang ating Korte Suprema ay dapat na tumingin na sa bagay ito. Kasi masyado nang divided ang ating political spectrum. At saka there are question what is legal should yield to what is practical and equitable. Maaaring hindi nga yung legal. Pero kung sa practical considerations ay kabubuti ng bayan ay kung pwedeng magawa, ay baka naman ang Korte Suprema ay gumawa ng kanilang isang hakbang para ito ay ma-resolve na.
Ang sinasabi nyo ba, Attorney Mac, pwede lang silang dumulog sa Korte Suprema, yung party to the case, pwedeng prosecution o yung defense, pag nagsimula na ang trial.
Mismong trial.
Pagka mismong trial, pagka talagang ito ay nagkaroon ng ruling, halimbawa, ang Senado na ganito magiging boto, yun po pwede sila. Pero sa ngayon, wala na mga ruling, wala na mga batas na ginagawa ang ating Senado na kung paano magiging takbo ng paglilitis. Ngayon, kung gagawa ng resolution ng ating Senate at sasabihin na ito ang magiging procedure natin, doon po maghahain ng petisyon sa Korte Suprema ang sinumang partido na apektado ng nasabing bagong rule na gagawin ng Senate.
Ang ibang tao, halimbawa, kami ni Tina, pupunta kami sa Supreme Court, hindi pwede, hindi kami tatanggapin.
Baka hindi kayo pansinin dahil hindi kayo yung
Party to the case.
person real party interest. Pero may mga pagkakataon na kahit na ordinary person po pwede bilang isang taxpayer, ang sasabihin na ayoko masayang ang panahon, na bilang isang taxpayer ay pera namin ang ginagamit yan at sinasayang nilang panahon sa ganitong mga issue. Ano malay natin, baka naman sakaling pagbigyan tayo ng Korte Suprema. Marami na kami mga case na inihain na ganyan bilang isang taxpayer or a concerned citizen na apektado ng nasabing mga issue na lumalabas sa ating pamahalaan.
Kayo ba mismo, attorney, may plano po ba kayo? Dahil kayo mismo sabi masyado pang maaga na pag-usapan itong threshold dahil wala pa naman tayo sa mismong trial.
Ay wala naman akong balak na maghahain ng nasa petition kasi I am not the real party in interest.
Okay. Last time po nakapanayam namin dito si Congressman Gervil Luistro at sabi niya nga ngayon na yung huling dalawang articles na sinasabing pinakamahalaga at pinakamaraming dokumento ang tatalakayin o pagdidiskusyonan. Sa inyong karanasan po bilang abogado, no, gaano po ang epekto ng mga heavy document dito sa pre-trial conference sa pag-usad nito, itong hamon nitong pagtalakay ng mga dokumento at usapin?
Ayun, hindi naman yan sa dami ng dokumento. Kahit na gano'ng dami ng document at hindi naman masyadong material or relevant, baka mabaliwala lang. Siguro,
Yan ang problema eh. Yung lagi nilang sinasabing voluminous tapos ihaharap nila si Madriaga. Wala akong kwenta yun. Ay, yung voluminous. Ano yung kumbaga kasama sa kanilang script yun, sa kanilang mga publicidad na kailangan pagkatatanungin tayo, lagi natin sinasabi, madaming mabibigat na ebidensya. Di ba? Ganun yung datingan eh. O voluminous. O kowa, tapos lalabasin na si Madriaga. Ano to pa?
dapat, with due respect sa kanila, pipiliin na lamang yung pinakamatitinding mga dokumento. Hindi na iparami. Kasi lalo lamang magtatagal yan eh. Sa mga lawyers, ang hinahanap lang naman, sa mga judges, ang hinahanap naman nila, yung talagang material evidence, yung talagang immediately will point to the guilt of the accused. Yung mga kapag kainihain mo ay walang kaduda-duda na talagang may pagkakasala yung akusado. Pero kung halimbawa, napakadami mong dokumento pagkatapos kung saan pupunta ang issue, ay baka lalo maguluhan ang taong bayan. Kailangan maging maingat sa paghahain ng mga ebidensya kasi dapat tandaan ng prosecution na it should rely on the strength of its own evidence and not on the weakness of the evidence of the defense. Dapat ay mananalig sila sa lakas ng kanilang ebidensya at hindi sa hina ng ebidensya ng kanilang kalaban.
Okay. Attorney Mac, salamat sa mga inputs. Magandang umaga.
Ayun, maraming salamat, Attorney Romulo. Makalimtal. No? Dito tayo kay Bakulaw. Gay. Walang sounds to si Bakuls.
Of course, the media from the Senate. Good morning po sa ating mga kababayang Pilipino na nanonood sa atin ngayon.
Yeah.
For my opening statement, I would like to give an update dun sa ating pre-trial conference. Ongoing po ang marking ng exhibits. That is for Article 1, Confidential Fund, and Article 2, Unexplained Wealth. It has always been the position of the prosecution to expedite the pre-trial conference, and that is why we would want really to finish this marking today, no? But of course, there are challenges and limitations, and we acknowledge that. Now, after the marking of all exhibits for both parties, we anticipate to receive the pre-trial order from the impeachment court. And after the receipt of the pre-trial order, of course, both parties are given opportunity to file the respective comment if they desire to do so. And what is important, of course, is with regards to the start of the trial, it is certain that it will commence on July 6, as previously announced by the Senate. Now, about the pre-trial order, this is very important because it contains the stipulations of facts admitted by the parties. It contains the list of witnesses. It contains the marked exhibits. It has to contain as well even the trial dates. And I understand we filed our manifestation as well with respect to the order of presentation of the 4 articles, which we anticipate will be included as well in the pre-trial order. The pre-trial order is very important because this is binding between the parties, including the impeachment court. Whatever is contained thereat must be followed by all parties as we proceed to trial of the articles of impeachment. Another important thing for today, we would like to introduce, of course, our legal spokesperson. He is one of the assisting counsels, and of course, isa ring abogado de Campanilla. To my right, of course, is Attorney Benjamin S. Tolosa Jr. As legal spokesperson, he will be speaking in behalf of the prosecution team, particularly with respect to the developments that are happening in the proceedings of the impeachment trial. As a matter of fact, he can start today with respect to the the updates
Sigurado ka di Campanilla tong si itong si attorney kasi yung mga abogadong di Campanilla, yan yung mga abogadong di Campanilla, mga election lawyer, mga kilalang abogado. Abogado di Campanilla, yung si Kapunan, oo, kasi nireregla nga lang. Di Campanilla yun, naniniwala ako yung si Kapunan, di Campanilla yun, pero yan, di ko kilala yan. Saan nyo na nung pinagpupulot yung mga hinaharap nyo sa media, yung tipo, abogado di Campanilla.
that are happening in the pre-trial conference, and he will continue to speak for us when we start the trial on July 6, 2026. So for the information of the public, Attorney Tolosa is the founding and managing partner and head of the litigation and dispute resolution practice of the Tolosa, Lim, and Chua law firm, where he leads a team of over 25 lawyers handling complex and high-stakes disputes. He is likewise the in-house counsel of Fortune Global 500 Multinational Corporations Philippines
Kailangan mo na talagang i-establish na talaga mahusay itong kasi hindi kilala di ba? Sige, bitaw mo.
affiliate.
Bitaw
He
mo.
is the general counsel of a regional conglomerate engaged in the retail and distribution of premium global brands. He used to be the senior associate of Accra Law, representing major corporations, senior executives, and public officials in complex and high-value disputes. Attorney Tolosa is an awardee and a constant recommendee of Asia Law Profiles and Legal 500 Asia Pacific. He's a graduate of University of Santo Tomas and ranked top 10 among the graduating class of 145. For his pre-law, he finished Bachelor of Arts
Kalokohan to. Magkano na naman kaya ang binayad nila dito sa abogado na to? Meron pang pa Fortune 500 eh. Hindi na pwedeng libre ka lang dyan, Brad. Ang bibigat ng mga high-stake case yung mga hinahawakan mo. Tapos, alangan naman nandiyan ka, banjing ka lang dyan, di ba? Meron mas mga trabaho na magbabayad sa'yo ng mas malaki. Kaya ang tanong dito, magkano kaya ang binayad nila bakulaw dito, dito sa abogado na to?
Congresswoman Luis Trono. As we all know, the impeachment is a pivotal constitutional proceeding. In fact, it's one of the most important accountability mechanisms for public officials under the Constitution. So as a trial lawyer, I found it to be a meaningful opportunity to place my experience in the service of that process. So for now, as mentioned by Kong Jinky, I will focus on acting as a spokesperson.
Spokesperson, okay.
But of course, the main spokespersons will still be Congressman Adyong and Co. And main purpose, I guess, for me is since I will be actively participating in the trial as well, and I'll be inside the courtroom, if there are quick updates that I need to communicate to the public, and answer questions that you may have, I'll be available and provide that information to you.
So I would like to clarify my earlier statement. Attorney Jay Tolosa is not only a legal spokesperson. Soon he will be entering his appearance as well as one of the private prosecutors. So indeed, he will be participating actively in the trial. Thank you.
Okay. Ano pala, eksena din pala itong si attorney, no? Kasi mabibigat nga naman yan. Mantakin niya, pinagulong ni attorney Sheila Sising, di ba? Kaya nagtawag pa nga. Pambihira, di ka na nakontento kay yung nagla si Kapunan. Pambihira. Di ka na nakontento sa kanya, kumuha ka pa ng isa. Kaya talaga itong si Bakulaw, no?
Okay, we may now open the table for questions. Please identify yourself and the panelists, you may want to address your inquiries.
Ma'am, Liberal Album Inquirer. Ma'am, just first question po, kasi nung over the weekend, may mga kumalat na rumors na parang nagkala mo na ng buhay daw po na...
Pagka ganyan na tanong dito kay Luis Tro, talagang namumutla. Nagkala mo na ng buhay. Tingnan nyo naman yung mukha na yan, pambihira talaga. Oo. Huwag nyo kasi tanongin na ganyan, na-trauma pa itong si Bakulaw. Yeah.
Parang ganun yung nangyari.
Excited na sumagot, oh.
Can you clarify po that, Chair?
That is not true. I charge it to fake news. And the people should become very cautious now in watching from the social media. We should be careful in deciphering what is correct and what is false. Of course, I am conscious
Hindi naman, wala naman nangyaring lamunan. Linampaso lang kayo naman kasi. Masyadong masakit yung linamon eh. Linampaso lang.
that I am representing the interests of the sovereign Filipino people. Hindi po ako papayag na lamunin ng buhay ang laban ng sambayan ng Pilipino.
Hindi laban ng sambayan ng Pilipino yan, madam. Laban niya ni Martin Romualdez at itong si Marcos Jr. Hindi naman sa interes ng sambayan ng Pilipino na ma-impeach si BP Sara. Interes sa sambayan ng Pilipino na malaman namin ang katotohanan sa mga maanumalyang flood control project. Pero dyan sa impeachment na wala. Unahin natin yung 1 trillion. Tapos saka natin pag-usapan yung 125 million. Nakuha niyo ba? 125 million kay VP Sara, confidential fund na mapanggang sa ngayon. Nagsanga-sanga na, umabot na sa tag dito, threat, di ba? Close sila ni Madriaga, nagsanga-sanga na mula sa confidential fund. Dito sa flood control, ika nga yung mga pera talagang nakalatag sa mesa, ilinalagay sa maleta. Bakit hindi yun ang unahin natin? Paulit-ulit ho natin na ika nga questionin yung kabalbalan na yan dahil napakarami nating problema. Yan ho ang inuuna nila. Yan ho ang problema natin ngayon.
anything that they'll say
Alam
about it,
na alam
no,
mo, no?
in terms of who really got the upper hand, of course, that will be viewed as bias. No? So to properly address that, let's stick to the facts. Okay, when you say kinain, nakalamunan, what does that mean? No? It means someone got an upper hand, no, compared to the other. So what happened? It's a pre-trial conference. So in that context, to say that you got the upper hand, it should mean that you're able to get favorable rulings on your part. No? But that's impossible. Why? Because the clerk of the impeachment court cannot even make any rulings. No? So that's factually impossible. Now, but what I can say also factually, no, is that we were able to secure or successfully achieve our goal. No? What is that? To ensure that the pre-trial would proceed in an expeditious manner. No? Right at the start of the pre-trial conference, there was an attempt on the defense to raise an issue regarding the 2/3 threshold, no, to pose this as something that must be resolved before pre-trial could commence. And that is something that was quickly shut down by Congressman Luistro. No? And in fact, as you know, we were able to
Completely shut down, siya ang sinut down nitong si Attorney Sheila Sison. Huwag niyo nang ipagtanggol si Bacolao. Ano lang yan naging kilalang abogado lang naman yan dahil naging congressman siya eh. Pero kung di naging congressman yan, anak na to ka, baka nagnunotaryo lang sa kanila. Hindi, no offense sa mga nagnunotaryo. Parang na trabaho yan. Walang problema yan. Kung tayo mag-abogado, siguro nagnunotaryo lang din tayo. At least, di ba? Hindi lang si Bacolao, pati tayo nagnunotaryo. Hindi yan. Hindi nga yung trabaho na yan ngayong mga panahon na to ay napaka-crucial, no? Yung pagnonotaryo. Kasi kita nyo naman ho, no? Hindi mo basta-basta. Ika nga nahaharap ka sa napakatinding pressure pag maling dokumento mo notaryo. Wawa ka pag nagpunta sa'yo si Master Sergeant Orly Gutesa, anak na to ka, pipit-pitin lahat ng daliri mo sa kamay at mga betlogs mo, di ba? Para lamang ma-deny yung notaryo.
complete already the markings of evidence for 2 articles of impeachment. No? And today, we're continuing with the 2 other articles of impeachment, which is one for confidential funds and unexplained wealth. And we're hoping to finish that as soon as possible as well.
If I may add also, I think as these proceedings progress, we can expect more of that, more disinformation, more of fake news, more of factual distortion, spins of the real stories of the things that happened as the proceedings progress, lalo na pagdating.
Tignan nyo paano magkakaroon ng fake news pag nag-umpisa na yung talagang bloodbath dyan sa impeachment court, di ba? Ano na yun? Kung sakaling meron ka fake newsan, madaling ma-address yung kasi naka-live yung tag dito, yung trial. Pero diyan hindi naka-live kaya merong mga ganyang alingas-ngas. Ang bottom line dito, linamon ho nitong si Attorney Sheila, itong si Bacolao. Yun.
Natin sa trial proper. So we just have to be very circumspect and careful about perceiving things and in our reporting. So this is more sa SOCMED and we should be very
Teka lang, hindi SOCMED. SOCMED ba si Pinky Web? Hindi naman SOCMED si Pinky Web eh. Si Pinky Web nga, pinagtawanan si Bacolao, si Jinky Luistro eh. Nalaman lang natin yung balita na yan kay Pinky Web, hindi sa SOCMED. Napanood natin yung interview niya. SOCMED. Kung nakaabot kay Pinky Web, nalinamon ng buhay, nitong si Attorney Sison, nitong si Bacolao, malamang sa malamang, merong katotohanan yun. Bakit? Kasi merong mga insider yan doon sa pre-trial conference. May nakausap yan na sasabihin, opo, yes ma'am, totoo ho, linamon ng buhay ni Attorney Sheila Sison, si Bacolao.
about these things.
Ginawa pa sinungaling itong si Ma'am Pinky Web.
Because this is a highly charged event, of course, of the country. So certain players might be doing things that would again try to undermine, especially the cause of the prosecution. Thank you.
Second question po. Kanina po kasi bago mag-start yung pre-trial conference, andun po yung mga lawyers from both the defense and the prosecution. Tapos parang nakita sila na parang nagmi-mingle naman, nag-uusap-usap. I know na normal ito, pero just to clarify po sa public, baka po kasi may mag-isip ng kung ano na parang bakit magkakasundo pala sila after all.
Anong gusto mo pag nagkita sila, sabunutan? Natural magpapakasidil sila. Itong mga nagtatanong na to, parang ano ka tawa? Brad, kunya, napakaraming tao, kahit na ika nga, hindi kayo yung tipong abogado kayo, alam nyo na, ikaw trabaho mo yan, ako trabaho ko to, pares tayong hinar dito sa trabaho na to. Alam nga naman pagka nakita kayo, magsabunutan kayo, pambira ka naman kuya.
Clarify po.
Pero nakasimangot silang lahat, maging itong si ba't para mga berrisa, itong mga mukha nitong mga na to, itong mga nasa prosecution panel, wala ba? Ramdam nyo ba? Ramdam nyo ba na ika nga hindi tatagos yung impeachment? Ramdam nyo na ba? Yan problema. Yung inyong mga aligasyon kay VP Sara, hanggang Injustice Committee lang yan. Gusto nyo makisaba yan, pinagbigyan kayo tuloy,
Well, all of us are lawyers. At least we must be cordial with each other.
Cordial.
Because
Kaya yung mga yung mga media na yan, hindi nila alam yung salitang cordial. Alam na mga yan, maleta, pera, bayad, ganyan. Di ba? Alam na mga taga na yung mga media na yan, cordial. Hindi nila alam yung buti pa ito si Bacolao, kahit nailinamon na si Attorney Sheila Sison, alam yung mga katagang cordial.
because we belong to the same legal profession. Nevertheless, of course, we are committed to our respective causes. The prosecution is here to prove its case in this impeachment trial, while the defense is there in order to prove the innocence of the respondent. That is what we meant by adversarial proceeding. But it does not negate the supposed cordial relationship among the members of the bar.
Alam mo talaga totoo, no?
I'm Kenneth from The Inquirer.
This question is addressed to Congresswoman Jinky Luistro.
Yan. Alam mo
Ma'am,
ba
how
yan?
would you describe the atmosphere of the
Yan.
pre-trial proceedings? And
Nai-stress si madam. Ba't ba di na kayo nag-move on dyan sa lamon na yan? Linampaso, ba't di kayo mag-move on na kayo? Masama na loob niya, oh. Tingnan niyo naman, nai-stress siya pagka pinag-uusapan yung pre-trial.
what stipulation of facts, evidence, and witnesses have been established and admitted so far?
Naman itong
Please
mga...
understand that we cannot dwell on the merits of this impeachment trial, and that includes the details on the stipulation of facts, the list of witnesses, and even the marking of documents. Nonetheless, to respond to your question about the atmosphere is very passionate in a sense that the prosecution is very much committed to prove its case, while the defense is likewise very much committed to prove the innocence of the respondent.
And a follow-up po. May mga records po ba, records, evidence, or witnesses that were contended by the defense panel or were stricken off from the trial itself?
As to striking off records, no, that is not supposed to happen during PTC. Because by striking off, you are addressing the admissibility of the documentary exhibits. And that is not allowed. That is not a proper subject of pretrial conference. Questions about admissibility of documentary evidence must happen during the trial.
Okay, and you mentioned na gusto ng prosecution team to expedite the pre-trial conference itself, but may mga challenges and limitations. Could you elaborate anong challenges, limitations itong kinakaharap?
For example, today, we would like to have 3 teams for confidential fund. That is for the purpose of marking of our exhibits. Because we understand that our exhibits for Article 1 is indeed extremely voluminous. This is the misuse, misappropriation, and irregular liquidation of confidential fund. However, the defense could not agree to that, claiming that they do not have sufficient lawyer to attend on the 3rd team of the supposed marking of exhibits for confidential fund. So we understand that, and as a matter of fact, we consider that as one of the limitations and challenges in our objective to proceed and terminate at the soonest possible time the instant pre-trial conference.
Last question na lang po. Ma'am, could you describe how vital the pre-trial conference is when it comes to shoring up or bolstering the prosecution team's case sa magiging trial po ni Vice President Sara Duterte?
This is very significant. Ito pong pre-trial order na ito ay pinagkasunduan ng dalawang parties, the defense and the prosecution, with, of course, the intervention of the impeachment court. This is supposed to serve as the blueprint, the guide, the roadmap in the upcoming impeachment trial. In other words, matters which were not incorporated in the pre-trial order cannot be presented during the trial.
Yan.
By pinagkasunduan, what we meant is, with respect to the trial that will happen, matters which can be agreed upon by the parties are included in the PTO, and matters which cannot be agreed upon by the parties are considered as disputed issues and controversies, and they should be included as well in the pre-trial order. As to the significance, mahalaga po ito dahil ito dapat ang susundin sa paglilitis na gaganapin. Ang mga ebidensya na hindi naisama sa pre-trial order as a general rule ay hindi pwedeng ipresenta during the trial.
Thank you po.
Good morning po, Kongs. Kay Kong Jervil po. Kong Jervil, in your previous interview, sinabi niyo po na po pwedeng tumagal yung impeachment trial ng 3 months. Nananatili po ba itong timeline na to, or there is a possibility to mas mapahaba pa po yung paglilitis?
If I will consider the number of witnesses and exhibits of both parties, mukhang hindi kakayanin ng hanggang September lang. But nevertheless, the number of trial dates for the prosecution and the defense is subject to the discretion of the impeachment court. So it will be the impeachment court who will have the final say kung ilan ang trial dates na ipagkakaloob sa prosecution, in the same way, kung ilan ang trial dates na ipagkakaloob sa depensa.
Pero nag-reflect na po ito dun po sa ibinigay niyo pong trial date sa impeachment court, yung more than 3 months.
We submitted our list of witnesses and documents, including the possible number of trial dates. But of course, it is submitted for the resolution of the impeachment court as to how many trial dates will be provided to us. You can raise questions to our legal spokesperson.
Yes, yes.
So just to add to that, the prosecution asked for 62 trial dates, and the defense asked for 30.
30?
30 trial dates. 62 trial dates for the prosecution and 30 for the defense. But of course, this could change during trial. It doesn't necessarily mean that we will need 62 days, for example, because if the court would allow us to present, for example, 2 witnesses per day, then it will be shorter. So it will depend on how it will actually unfold during the trial.
Yung 62 trial dates, yun po, is to present your evidence and witnesses.
That's correct.
Okay po. Today po yung deadline po sa both camps to file their comments on the stipulation process. May we know what is the list?
Yes, about that issue, maybe if I could just clarify because it was asked a while ago. So during the pre-trial conference, there was initially an attempt to discuss each and every proposed stipulation. But to abbreviate the proceedings, and which is exactly what you wanted also, the clerk of court allowed the parties to just file their written comments and counter proposals to each other's proposals for stipulation. And we're happy that that happened. Otherwise, baka hanggang ngayon hindi pa kami nakapag-start ng marking. So that's one thing. As to the submissions of the parties, let's just wait for that. Both parties will comply with the deadline within the day.
Just to clarify, may kalakip po bang motion? Yun pong comment nyo po sa stipulation process. Any motion?
No, it's just a compliance to the clerk of court's directive to file our comments or any counter stipulations to their own proposals for stipulations.
Sorry, last na lang po. Just for soundbite purposes po, 62 trial dates ang pong nilatag ng prosecution panel, while 30 trial dates ang defense. Why?
Because of the number of witnesses that we've identified in our respective pre-trial briefs. But you will note that in their pre-trial brief, because they've adopted most of our own witnesses, they actually listed 97 witnesses. So it's also a question if how come they listed 97 witnesses but they only asked for 30 trial dates. Maybe this is an indication that there's really no intention to produce all of those witnesses. But of course, we don't want to preempt what actions they would want to do. Yeah. So just to be more specific, for the common witnesses, there are 16 named common witnesses. And there are 35 unnamed. What do we mean by unnamed? Because in their pre-trial brief, you will see there that there are a lot of witnesses which are not actually named. For example, 6 or 7 representatives from the Office of the Vice President, 3 representatives from the BIR. So meaning, but on our part, we identified particular officials or officers from the offices. But so common would be 51, both named and unnamed. Okay. And I'll also add, since about that point, for the exhibits, we have 248 common exhibits, meaning 248 out of the 276 exhibits of the prosecution were basically copied also in the pre-trial brief or listed also as their evidence.
Pwede pong mag-clarify, sir. Mabilis lang po na clarification. Yung 62 trial dates, yun po ang proposal nyo. Tapos yung defense, yun ang proposal na 30.
Yeah, that's correct. But as pointed out by Kong Jinky a while ago, in the end, that will depend on the impeachment court's discretion. So those are the dates that we asked for, and we will see in the pre-trial order, once it's issued, the actual number of dates that will be allocated to each party.
Hello po. Good morning. I'm Lance from Newswatch Plus. Kay Attorney Tolosa po, no? Sir, earlier you mentioned po that the defense during the pretrial conference raised a concern on the threshold for conviction. Tama po ba? Can you just elaborate or kung ano po yung pwede niyong ibahagi sa amin? Ano po ba yung naging issue ng defense doon sa threshold for conviction? And for the prosecution team, ano po yung buong posisyon ng prosecution? Should it be lowered now to 15? Kasi as I remember yung sabi ni Congressman Jinky last time, for her personal opinion, it should be lowered to 15 dahil 22 yung votes, 22 yung nasa coercive powers. Pero yung posisyon po ng prosecution, ano po yung posisyon natin?
Okay. First, at the start of the pretrial conference, there was an attempt from the defense to pose this issue as something that should be tackled before we could proceed with the pretrial conference itself.
Di ka ba napabago sa akin? Ay naman sila. Akala nila may kausap. Akala nila kausap nila ako. Ang nakatawa. Di ka ba napapagod, Brad? Kanina ako pataktak ng taktak yan. Dapat tanungin mo muna ako kung kausap mo ako.
But as I've mentioned a while ago, but that was quickly shut down by Kong Luistro by pointing out, that's not a matter that could be decided by the clerk of court, and it should not be used to delay the pretrial conference. So, as to our position on that, this is, as I hope you'll understand, since it's possible that this is an issue that may come up during the proceedings, it will not be proper for us to talk about it at this point. But what I can say, is that the intention of the prosecution is to make sure that we'll be able to establish a compelling case backed by overwhelming evidence, such that regardless of how this 2/3 requirement will be interpreted, we will be able to secure it.
Another question lang po. Everything will come out naman po on the pre-trial order, but are you allowed to share right now kung ano po yung at least preferred ng prosecution na order of presentation?
That's being finalized, and as I've mentioned, we will file that submission within the day.
Last question na lang po on my end. Since we're, I think, 2 weeks away from the trial, how are the preparations going for the prosecution panel? Alam ko po, nagkakaroon kayo ng iba't ibang paghahanda, nag-mock trials kayo, pero ano na po yung level ng kahandaan ng prosecution ngayon?
Let's ask this question to Kong Chel.
Handang-handa naman po ang mga prosecutor para sa trial. At alam namin na malaking trabaho yan, malaking hamon para sa amin, and we are doing everything we can to ensure our readiness for July 6.
Yun na nga, hindi ako maganda gising nitong si Bugs Bunny. Dito na ako natatapos ang ating reaction video. Maraming salamat sa pag-support sa PH Update. Mag-ingat ako kayo lahat. Huwag kayo magpabudol. Mahal natin Pilipinas.